we wrap up, we've got one more update for you.
Here we go. Not Ghost, God of War.
Goes for guns.
Here we go.
Here it is, just the music.
Music, man, I can't fucking wait. I shouldn't even be watching this. I should just not be I should just look away. Oh, is this a controller?
Oh, it's a controller. Oh, that's hype. That's actually hype.
That looks peng as well. It's my favourite blue.
Branded controller.
Oh, baby.
Why didn't I choose this as my pick?
11. Oh man.
I've always been saying about, peripherals being branded by games.
That controller looks hype.
Everyone keeps secrets.
Oh.
Atreus.
Sometimes
Loki.
it's the only way to protect
Boy.
Oh, this is cool.
I know you. God killer.
What is it you want from me? Is it a god of war you came to find?
You don't really
He said
want
the name of the
war,
game.
do you, Kratos? All that blood on your hands, on your son's hands.
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim,
But you don't believe in any of it.
and still I follow. Because all that
fall
matters is
out.
that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
You sure about that?
Pretender god!
Valkyries are back,
Valkyries.
baby. Hell yeah.
Death can have me.
Turn it down to easy for that.
It's me.
What is that? Monsters have got big.
What do you even know of God's
Ooh.
word?
Oh, dodges look
In
nice.
your lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped
Oh, I'm
you?
sick.
Ever prayed
That was
to you?
like a big crocodile, wasn't it?
Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about anything beyond yourself. Beyond the monster who kills without cause.
Fenris.
Fate only binds you if you let it.
That shot, he shoots the sun, bro.
Well, that's Icarus. He's going to fly too close, isn't he?
That's
All
Greek.
what's
That's
necessary.
Greek.
It's the
Not
what's the
because
fella
it's
with the
written.
chariot who moves
That's
the sun?
Helios. That's in Greek as well.
It's fine.
There's equivalents, bro. It's always equivalent.
Yeah.
Oh, there was the
That's hype.
Our own destiny.
That's hype.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Fucking hell, that trailer is sick. Oh my god, that trailer is sick.
And that's the show.
Why does that
God
20
of
minutes
War
go so
Ragnarok
fast?
Comes to PS5 and PS4 on November 9th.
Incredible, isn't it?
See you next time.
So guys, we just saw the new God of War trailer following the state of play, and Jesus Christ, that was quite a bit we saw there. First thing, let's cover off the controller. So they showed a brand new controller, which was a kind of royal blue, if you'll give me that, a dark blue, like a Vegeta blue, with then the wolves on the front of it in white. Thoughts on the controller? Was that hype for you guys? You excited to see some actual theme controllers instead of it being the kind of cosmic colours that we've had for the last, since the launch of the PlayStation? Spence, over to you.
Bro, I'm looking at a picture of it right now. My God. We've said in the past, I'm kind of like a collector when it comes to the DualSenses. I've only got 2 at the minute, but I want all of them. When we did the last episode, there was a grey camouflage controller announced, and I said during that section of quick news, where are the game ones? No one wants grey camouflage. No one wants to have a controller they can never find. We want a Last of Us one, a God of War one, anything. Well, we have the God of War one. By God, It is absolutely stunning, and it gives us an insight of kind of how they're going to make the future partnered controllers look. And it's nice. It's really nice. You're very much right with that royal blue kind of accents on the side and those wolves in the front on the kind of on the touchpad. Oh my god, it's sick. Definitely a purchase from me. That is paying.
Nice. What about yourself, Phil?
Well, Davey, I'm glad you asked. And I've been saying this for months. It's finally here. A God of War handset. Will I buy it? No. But it's happening. And that's really, really cool, right? We're finally seeing game-branded handsets. We're not just seeing, as you said, the cosmic colours. We're seeing games printed on the handsets. So the next step, obviously, we'll start to see the PlayStation covers probably being designed. So I'm expecting probably they're going to do a God of War as well. I'll probably see that coming soon. That might be one of my next predictions. So I'll tick that one off the list straight away. But interesting to see that's just the standard controller, not the Pro controller. We've seen nothing at all about the Pro controller this time around, did we?
Yeah, I did find that quite surprising, actually. I put in one of my predictions going into this that I thought that was something that I didn't think it was likely, but I thought it was possible, you know? I didn't think at all that we'd have any kind of branded controls. I thought maybe they were moving away from that for whatever reason, especially as, you know, with this late into the generation. I say this late, it's still early days, but relatively late, nearly 2 years into the generation, and we haven't seen any custom plates apart from solid colors yet, you know? I do find it a little bit weird that for the Pro controller that we can't like get these little attachments and put them on. But then again, we don't know the price of it even yet. So maybe it's something that will come down the line as we get a little bit further into it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. You know, if these turn out to be popular and they're flying off the shelves, you know, Spencer wants to buy one just to add to his collection, not necessarily going to use it. When the Pro controllers do come out, I do think in the future they would probably follow this kind of trend and start branding them if they are indeed popular. If they're not, then they probably won't bother.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I suppose it gives them an option to go either way with it, doesn't it? You know, if they start flying off the shelves, then they can just start milking the fuck out of people, because I'll be one of those people. You know, I'm not interested in buying different plates for my console because it's out the way. But you look at a controller all the time, it's always on the side, you know? So that's the kind of thing that you do want to have a little bit of customization with, or have something that kind of makes it stand out apart from what your mate has, you know, where they're like, oh, you got that one, let's have a look at that. And me and Spence get like that when he saw the black one that I've got and I saw his red, you know, let alone if one of us had a God of War one or Resistance one for Resistance 4 when that eventually one day gets announced in the distant future. But let's move away from that. Let's go on to the main topic of choice here, and that is, of course, God of War. Now, Phil, I'm going to come across to yourself first. I want your thoughts on the trailer. Did it hit for you? Did it not? You're historically not a massive God of War fan, so that's why I'm coming across to you first.
I'm very much a reborn God of War fan. And it's your fault, Davey. You got me into this series. You brought me back on track, because I very much hated the God of War series previously to jumping on the God of War on the PS4. I was really excited for this, and I'm excited in a big way. I was watching along with you guys, and every scene I was like dodging with Kratos. I was so involved with it. It was incredible, guys. Like, it's huge. It's going to be a big game for PlayStation, and I'm day one, 100% in.
Spencer, you're that guy who you bought God of War, played it through, didn't rate it as highly as most people, especially me. You haven't gone to that same level. How's your hype been with God of War, what we've seen so far? And then what do you think about this trailer that you've seen today?
Right, well, correctly, you said I wasn't that keen on the original God of War. By the original, I mean, obviously, the reboot, the PS4 2018 iteration. I liked it. I did really enjoy it. I just found it went on a bit long and I got bored towards the end. That's all it was. But I did enjoy it throughout. It just kind of had a slow decline for me until the very end, in which case it peaked back up. But throughout kind of the release of the trailers for this second iteration of the series, Ragnarok, the hype's been up. The hype has been there, and I fully intended to go back to God of War 2018 before this releases. I am still planning on doing so, but I don't know when I'll have the time. I always say this kind of stuff, but I don't know when I will be able to. But these trailers are great, other than the last one, which people didn't like my opinion on, which was the TV spot, because it showed us nothing, and I'm the only one who said that. Everyone's just like, oh, we saw God of War again. It was a cutscene that's not going to be in the game. Grow up. This trailer, though, this brand new one, absolutely mind-blowing. They showed us gameplay, combat, grappling, showed us some dialogue between Atreus and Kratos. Showed us everything. I'm just keen now. I literally, as soon as that finished, I felt something in me to just boot up God of War. It made me want to go back and play the game right now. So my hype for Ragnarok is all-time high right now. I'm actually extremely keen.
Well, that's good to hear, guys, because I'm right there with you. I mean, I'd already pre-ordered the collector's edition. It's already done. I've got it. Just waiting for it to come. And I was going into this state of play thinking, do you know what? I imagine they're going to show God of War, but I don't really want to see it. I'm sold. I don't really want to see anything. But I've come out of this, the other side, totally amped the fuck up. I cannot wait to get into this. We saw quite a lot in this trailer. It started off, obviously with it being just the story beats, and then it progressed into quite a lot of gameplay. First off, guys, one thing I noticed, it seemed like as if the movement on this, in pretty much every single element in terms of exploration and combat, was enhanced. Did you notice anything in there that really kind of took your eye that you thought, ooh, that is quite spicy?
The one thing that stood out to me was when Kratos jumped from platform to platform and he was using the chains to almost swing across into combat. And I thought that was breathtaking. I hadn't seen that in the previous game. That was something really that stood out to me.
For me, there wasn't anything specific he did. I suppose that moment you mentioned, Phil, was actually awesome to look when he landed with the ice as well. So cool. But the big thing for me that I saw in the movement was just that it was in 60 FPS. And I was like, oh, that looks so smooth. All the animations look so clean. The dodges were so fluent. He would just dodge and it didn't take long. It was just an immediate dodge, guess out the way. You have so much control over Kratos in this game. I'm just excited. I'm excited to be able to move. That's all I want. It looks so clean and polished.
For me, it was the parries. The parries in the first game are great, and they're a skill that you can level up in and really make your own, especially with range combat. But when you're parrying bigger enemies or enemies that have specific animations, it didn't really look that clean in the original, especially on giant things. You couldn't really parry them. Whereas this, it was that Triceratops looking monster that just ran at him and he parried it and it just got floored from it. And I was like, oh, it stopped all the momentum. I was like, yes, that is just a really nice touch. Instead of them being bounced off and it just resets to neutral and you get a hit where they don't kind of flinch to it, which normally happens in these games. But it reacted to that and kind of went down. I was like, yes. That looks super hyped to me. What also blew me away was just water. We saw those little couple of cutscenes where we saw Atreus and Kratos, in the water and fighting mermaids and things like that. I want to see some more of that. I want to see, are we going to get some kind of water-based combat? Are we going to have a moment where we're swimming down? Can we do what Horizon couldn't do and give us the ability to fight things underwater? Sign me up. The original games for PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, they were quite varied, really, in terms of the scope and the camera angles that they used. They were fixed cameras back then. And it allowed for some really interesting combat experiences in their little domes with different heights of areas and things like that. And it seems like they're kind of bringing that same classic kind of design philosophy into God of War into this God of War 2, which I'm all for. Totally all for. Now, I tell you what I loved in this trailer was that as well as giving us all the different combat and showing us how you can power up the axe with ice and the blades of chaos with fire, as we've known about from different PlayStation blogs, they've been talking about this. What I liked is that we saw a load of different kind of story beats that are going to be central to this. Obviously, with Atreus having the leaves that he used to kill Balder still on him, and then his mother obviously Freya seeing those and kind of reacting to that. I thought that was cool. I suppose that's going to be the kind of central driving force to this entire Ragnarok story, is seeing this all a story of revenge, really, against Kratos, even though he saved her life. And so it's quite an interesting dynamic where she was getting choked out at the end, obviously in the first God of War, and Kratos just came over and killed him. And she was like, no, my son. I was thinking, come on, love. He obviously wants to plow you. Right, Kratos obviously is keen, and he's saving your life. Why aren't you grateful about this? But That's mothers for you, aren't they? They're a different breed. They're a different breed there. Guys, in terms of the story beats that we've seen here, any that stood out to you? Any that you're thinking, oh, I need to know some more of this?
I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit because I'm first, right? I'm going to jump right to the end of the trailer, and it was the combat between the God of War himself and Thor. I want to know what happened there. I want to know how you get into that fight. I want to know how he's included in the story. And I want to get into that battle. When they were clashing weapons against each other, you just felt that impact. It felt powerful, that fight. And the rumble feature, it's just going to blow your hands off, isn't it? I can imagine holding your DualSense and you go into the battle with Thor and you literally fall off your seat with the power. That's what I'm imagining.
For me, I don't want to know about any story beats. Everything they showed, it's like, okay, yeah, so this is happening. This is happening. Ooh, little tease there. Don't show it to me. Don't show it to me. Show me combat. Yeah, calm. Show me maybe who's going to be in the game at a stretch. Show me their silhouette so I can maybe make it out. Don't show me what they're actually doing or where they are in the game or when I'm going to meet them, what they're going to say. Don't care. I don't want to know anything until I play the game. I want trailers to just be like, oh, the game's coming out. Yep. And it plays like this. The story, you'll have to wait and see. Story beats are cool, they're nice to see, but not for me. Not for me.
I suppose it's going to be open to all these people that like kind of deep dive trailers in terms of, on this frame, we see this character. I wonder if that means we're going to see this. You know, those people that like really break it down into shed loads of detail. There's going to be rife with that. And it looked like, just like the first game, they were doubling down on the Norse mythology, which for all those Norse mythology heads, you're going to be in over your head with this, because this looks like it's going to be some crazy ass shit we're going through. I can't even pronounce, I've got them up on the screen next to me, the names of the two wolves that we saw there that chased the moon and the sun. I can't even pronounce them. I'm not even going to remotely attempt to it until I see the game myself and I play them and somebody mentions the name of them. I'll be like, I'll try and remember that. Because the last time we did this, we ended up calling Lady Dimitrescu instead of Lady Dimitrescu. And so I ain't taking down this path again, lads. I'm just not going there. Safe to say we're all pretty excited for God of War. Is there anything else that you guys want to go through? Anything else that stood out for you? Or should we just bring this to a close and pick it up on the next episode of the podcast?
I'd say bring it to a close, mate. I don't want to even discuss theories. I don't want nothing entering this brain except the game.
It's going to be very hard to avoid any of this on Twitter and social media, but I'm going to try my best because, as Spencer said, I don't really want to know too much more with concern to like the story of this game. So I'm very much going to try and avoid any of those theory crafters out there. So please don't at me.
And so on that note, guys, we have a resounding success for the God of War trailer. It hit with all three of us. We're all super excited. We're all day ones. Let us know what you thought of the God of War trailer. Did it vibe with you? Are you going to be in there day one, licking that axe, sticking those blades of chaos where they shouldn't be? Let us know. Put a comment on the video, and any cool comments that we really like the look of, we'll bring up on the next podcast episode in 2 weeks' time. Now, I've been Davey.
I've been Phil.
And I've been Spencer.
Take care, guys.
Boy!
In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.